All right.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think I'm a little more sensitive than you are, though.
no, I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. I just think you can be surprised sometimes. It's kind of
No,
less
yeah, you're
about
right.
like
You're right. You're
it's
right.
not like Shebs would be like, yo, whatever, just do it. Like, my thought is more like you never know,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sometimes you know.
Yeah, sometimes you know, though. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just know.
You think we should start doing the podcast? I know the intro, but do you think we should start doing a version of the podcast where it's just we talk, and then it's like, hey, like some pods are just like, yeah, so I think Mark Maron does that where he's like, yeah, so I needed to get like a new
Yeah, I think we need to
radiator.
do.
And,
I think we need to do cold opens. Yes.
And yeah, I think
Where you just kind of
you're
like,
just
you just got to catch up the audience of what's going on.
yeah,
in
you're
your
like
life.
talking, and then they like the producer just kind of shadily hits record, and then you just go like, you're like, yeah. So I don't know. I told her
Like,
like,
oh, we're
I'm not
recording?
ready
Oh.
now, but like maybe in the future. Anyway, guys, hey, welcome to the Comedians Wrestling Podcast. You know what I mean? Actually, let's just do that for this one. No.
Oh yeah, you didn't have to say it. I was going to
We
do
just
it.
did it. Yeah.
Oh well, did I just blow it?
Yeah.
Well,
Ready
now
and
it's
music.
Lime, duh.
yeah. Let's do it again, baby. Wow, do you hear those COVID-free lungs, baby? Welcome to the comedians of COVID.
That's not.
the comedians of wrestling. The comedians of wrestling podcast. Welcome to the comedians of podcast.
Comedians of podcast. It's a
The
better name
comedians
anyway.
podcast. Comedians of Wrestling Podcast, the podcast of comedians dissect wrestling to an unhealthy degree. You know the rest of it. Right now, look, let's not. I'm Dan Black, the funniest podcaster in the motherfucking universe. If you turn off my podcast, you know what the consequences are. I'll fucking kill you. Plus, I'm the Comedians of Wrestling heavyweight champion. The title's right over here. I'm not even showing it to you peons, okay? Anyway, look, update on my COVID as the listeners know. And we have, you guys, you can check on. I got a lot of messages from you guys. I appreciate it. A lot of the messages were, thank God we didn't go to the show, the live show, which was very funny. That was a very funny thing to say. Very hurtful to my ego. But no, thankfully, I had COVID. I'm now out of quarantine. I got to see my family. I had been at the Days Inn in Woodbury, Long Island, very close to the breeding ground of one MJF, the Maxwell Jacob Freedom. Maxwell Jacob Freedom. MJF. And that's the Patriot version,
Remember
But
the
anyway.
Patriot? Didn't he die recently?
Mel Gibson?
The guy, yeah, the Patriot, the movie The Patriot. That's how I refer. I'm like,
that a Heath Ledger joke? Was that
I'm
a
my
Heath Ledger
grandma.
joke?
I'm my grandma. I refer to actors by the name of the movie they've been in. Whatever happened to Apocalypto?
Yeah, that's so funny. You're like, yeah, good. You know the actor Goodfellas?
Yeah, it's a star-studded cast, Grandma. I don't know which one you're referring to.
That's the nasty one, Nasty Newman, Alex Newman Hagen, who's
How about
in Daheezy. We got the smooth operator who, to be honest, for this episode, because I don't have the soundboard, I don't have all my equipment. You can tell the sound quality is not as good because I'm coming out of quarantine. I wasn't allowed to fly. Eat my ass if you have a problem with that. What do you want from me? Okay. And but smooth. I think Phil Pasmani is like, the drummer in the More Than Words video.
No. Oh,
yes,
yes, I do. Yes, where it's like kind of like they're in like a blank studio and a guy and like, yeah.
So there's no drums in that song.
Yeah.
So the drummer's just reading the paper in the background while there's if you go watch that video, I think what's it? Extreme is the band.
Yeah.
That sings that. So it's like saying I love you is not the words, and then the fucking drummer's just in the back reading paper, and it's their only hit. So that
It's a cover too, right?
Is it a cover? I don't think it's a cover.
I think it's a cover.
You want to, Phil? Do we want to give them a taste? Yeah. He's holding a lighter up, right? Like it's a full goof. But little does he know. By the way, it's a wrestling podcast. Little does he know that the goof of this video is not what he thinks is funny. it's the haircuts and the style of the guys in hindsight.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a hat on a hat. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. This is like, why does it look like, go back to that. Yeah. I mean, these guys could be guys, these could be guys now. Like they don't look at all like it's the 80s or 90s. And then even the drummer.
Oh yeah. I guess you're kind of right.
Is just like a normal dude.
These guys have came back around.
Like, look at this guy sitting down. The drummer this is like 2010.
Newman.
Like, what the fuck? He has a beard.
That's a good call. The drummer just looks kind of like a hipster.
Yeah.
It's like a modern day hipster.
Yeah. He looks like he gaslights women.
We all do, don't we, folks?
No, we don't. You're just being crazy.
Do you guys, well, I have a couple things to say. I mean, while we're on this, I'll say this. Have you ever seen Fallon and Paul Rudd like remake videos sometimes?
No, that's boomer shit.
Yeah, it's definitely boomer. It's definitely a bit boomer. Okay.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not no comment on Fallon, whatever. I don't want to get into it. It is kind of funny. They recreate videos to a T. There's no joke other than it's just a perfect recreation of it.
Right.
And I kind of appreciate that there's no actual joke there other than like, let's just use NBC's resources. It'd be funny to just copy this video, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. There is something funny too. And when the joke is like how perfect it is.
The joke's just like, this is excellent, you know?
Yeah.
Phil, do we have that queued up? Should we see that?
No, I wasn't queuing it up. What are we looking for?
All right, Phil. Well, because Phil is holding a lighter up currently.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading the paper.
Yeah, that's true. He's reading the paper. Well, we know Phil can read, folks. Anyway,
I don't know what you planned on starting
Just look
with.
at the pictures.
I had some stuff, but it's hilarious because I have so much stuff out of the ring that I'm interested in, like the tipping thing you were just talking about. I thought that was funny.
Well, yeah. What's that?
Where were you gonna go? Go where you were gonna go.
I was gonna say
Patreon.com/comedians of wrestling, because I wanted to start with. I have something to say about Patreon. But go.
I mean, I just want to know when we're going to talk about Malaki Black.
It's on my list, obviously, because of I have two things to.
You muted yourself.
I just muted myself. You know what? Because frankly, do we need to hear from men anymore? You know what I mean? Let's take a mute moment of silence for the patriarchy. Hold on. All right, we got it.
For the patriarchy?
Yeah, for the patriarchy. Fun fact. Okay, because I'll say this because there's no video of the match because it's like one of the things like I'm so fucking mad about it. I got COVID and the video guys didn't show up.
Right.
Like I hope you guys. It's like hilarious. Like how much I put into doing this shit sometimes, and then you're like, just fuck me. Like let me just go like be an accountant and just that's it. Because then, you know what I mean? You're like I can't even handle it. I do have some video, but it's like it's so far. I don't even want to post it. It looks like shit. It's like from phones. You know what I mean? So I have some spots, but one thing I did at the end of the match, I was like, I won, and then I dedicated the match to all the men. I dedicated the match to men.
Yeah.
And I just improvised it, you know, like I just like was like, I dedicate this match to all the men, like every man. And I was like, what a fucking hilarious thing I did that I don't have on camera, you know?
Yeah. Hey, man. How many things have you done in that very basement that are hilarious and have not been on camera ever? So
yeah, that's actually where I've been the funniest. Yeah. In a world of digital, like just because I'm a moron.
Yeah.
The amount of actually what it was described to me as, I told you this before, but what's his name? I forgot his name right now because of COVID. Probably a COVID brain, but very hilarious improviser. I'll remember his name in a second. But he said improv is like throwing diamonds into the ocean. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then, but now I want to take that a step further and say that UCB was like throwing diamonds into the ocean.
Yeah. I would say improv is more like throwing everything into the ocean. Then every now and then there's a diamond involved.
Oh, for anyway. Oh yeah, that's also true, right? It's also the truth. Like it was all beautiful. Like it's also part of the gift is that none of it was actually
99% of it is bad.
Yeah, none of it was on display in De Beers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, folks. Yeah, but I dedicated when I won. I was like, this is to all the men out there. I thought it was, I really, it surprised me. Even sometimes I do something where I go like, yeah, that was so funny. Because I'll be hard on myself. And then I go, what a funny thing to do. Pin a woman after cheating. Dolph Ziggler. What you guys didn't see, I might as well just describe the match because I don't have video of it. It's like, she was going to win, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I grabbed the mic. I begged her not to give me like a shining wizard. I was on my knees and I started kissing her feet.
Hot.
And I started saying like, yo, I'm sorry I act like this because I've just been hurt so many times in the past, you know, like, and it makes me this monster, but I'm not proud of who I am. And then Dolph Ziggler kicked her over my kneeling body. It was such a great finish that I have no video of, you know?
Right. None at all. Not even like bootleg cell phone.
Maybe
shots.
I think I might have a bootleg shot of it, but like whatever, guys. I'm like saying what it was here because it's like because fuck me, you know.
Right.
I'm coming off COVID. I need it, you know. But anyway, this being said, is like, and then I pinned her and then dedicated the match to all men, and then Ziggler. This is what he does. Everything he did it in Vegas also. Ziggler like whispers in my ear at the finish, like, yo, like when Tula went through the table, he was like, yo, he's got to go back to the table, you know?
Right.
So after I win, he's like, she's got to like DDT us or something. We can't just like win this match and go out arms held high. I'm thinking we're gonna Empire Strikes Back the thing. You know what I mean? He's like Ziggler's like such a pro. He whispers to me like, and I'm like, okay. And he's like an actual WWE ref because then he's like, all right, she's in. She's gonna hit me first and then you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we have these moments, and I'm like, oh, I get real insight into like being a wrestler. You know, like
right. What did he go over to her? And then
he probably went up to her and was just like, all right, you're going to hit both of us, Dan first. And then, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's like, Dan first, DDT, setup kick, like something like that, right? Yeah. So then, like, that's it. Then she hit us, like, on the spot. It was very fun.
Oh, awesome.
And then, very fun. It was a great time. That being said, plan for, I don't know what the deal is yet, but likely it's looking very certain that we will have a Rumble show, which would be in St. Louis. Way more details to come soon. But if that's something you're thinking about going to the Rumble, if anyone's thinking about going to the Rumble, like we should have a show, and it will be
in St. Louis.
Yeah. With Ziggler, but it's gonna be way more organized than our New York show because the New York
branching
show
out to tertiary markets. I see.
Listen, the amount of emails I got from Donnie
Las Vegas. LA, New York City, St. Louis.
Listen, you just lost us a listener. I want to talk about the Patreon for a second. Patreon.com/MeasWrestling. You get access to our bonus episodes. Last week we did Dynamite, which I thought was a great time. I mean, I have one question for you guys: should I allow Shebs back on Dynamite?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, you had no problem with his behavior, Phil? Any problem with Shebs' behavior on Dynamite?
I think he just has bad takes sometimes.
Okay. All right, cool, good. I was just checking. He came a little hostile in there, said the two best wrestlers in the world are Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar.
I mean, I also want to say that, like, I invented Dynamite, so, like, I feel like I'm the one who decides.
Okay, you decide.
Also, maybe have a discussion about how you, like, monetized our hangout.
We've had that discussion, we just did it. And Dan ignored me totally and completely.
Okay, first off, we don't have to record Dynamite again. We were in Quar, so you guys all said it was fine, okay?
Okay.
No more recording Dynamite, fine. All right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, let's go to Malaki Black.
We're just going to continue to have Man Page without you then. We can record Dynamite, but Man Page is off limits.
Wait, what's Man Page?
That's what you wish you knew.
Is Man Page? What is this? Man Page? Is this when you guys fucking watch Adam Page?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Rampage. It's Rampage. Oh man, I'm so dumb. Oh my god.
You got it.
Did you guys watch Rampage last night without me? You piece of shit. You pieces of shit.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't.
Answer the question. Did you watch Rampage without me?
I mean, literally, yes.
I didn't watch
Wow.
it. I wasn't there.
It was just me.
Where
and
were you,
Tuba.
Phil? Were you on a date?
No, I was on mushrooms.
Okay, on a date with God.
Yeah, exactly. Day with myself. Who is God?
I love that for you. I love that for you. All right, let's jump into talking about Malaki Black here. What do
Pull
you
up the
say?
picture, Phil, please. Look at this fucking guy, dude.
Oh my God.
Like, this is 99% of what.
Is that me in Vegas or is that?
That's
is that me
you
in-
wish. You wish. This is 99% of what it takes to be a great wrestler. Do you look awesome in a fucking photo? Like, you could, like, it's the Fiend effect, right? Like, how many people look at the Fiend and they go, oh, what's this, right? You show a picture of somebody like Bryan Danielson, they're not going to have that reaction, regardless of how good we know that he is. Even Kenny Omega, to some extent, you're not going to have that reaction unless he's in like some crazy getup. No. This guy gets it. Look at this fucking shot. So
to describe the photo for people, you can see this on YouTube, by the way. Yeah. All our pods are on YouTube, by the way, which I never say, but I should. It's Malaki entering, but he's wearing the essentially what he copied from me is the elk mask, but it's an elk skull, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
well, it's Chernunos, the
is it
horned
deer?
god. Yes, kind of.
It's a bongo skull, and and it's a bongo skull. He's wearing a bongo skull, but they got the red light in the mist, and it's just his arms look great. You can see the tats. It's like perfectly lit for him to look. It's extremely cinematic, which whenever you can capture that in wrestling, it's extremely it's actually very difficult because it's a live show.
Right.
So when you get what the Fiend and Malaki, who are probably the only two I can really think of who fully really done it, you know, to the point where Bray Wyatt's now in a movie, you know,
he is,
they're shooting it right now.
Oh
yeah. He's in a horror movie right now. That's being shot. That's why I don't think it's why he hasn't shown up in wrestling.
Oh,
you know?
Good for him.
Yeah. There's actually, you can look up what it's called and stuff, Phil. Can we get the details of the movie he's shooting?
Watch him like blow up.
It's not even, that wouldn't even be surprising. First off, who has the charisma, chops, and look of him? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like he's could easily do what Batista has done in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Batista has good guy appeal and bad guy appeal. Bray, I think, is fully locked into the bad guy side.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
The owner of the studio called the movie Ichi the Killer Meets Xanadu, which Ichi the Killer is one of my favorite movies.
Xanadu, you mean?
Xanadu?
Yeah.
Z is Xanadu?
Yeah, Xanadu. What did I say?
Xanadu?
Bro.
You're telling me you're not a huge fan of Olivia Newton-John, my guy?
Nope.
You're not a fan of roller skating lights, like light beams that roller skate?
It's kind of like Lisa Frank the movie, right?
Really never.
Is what Xanadu is?
I'm going to watch it tonight.
Unless you want to do mushrooms again, wait to watch it.
I think that's one of those, like, it's so bad it's good kind of things, Xanadu,
yeah,
right?
It's like a Disco Cocaine Fever, the movie. Not that I've ever done cocaine or dance disco.
So can we talk about Malaki for a second?
Yes.
First off, there's another thing you have to tell everybody about your status.
Oh, that I am now officially a member of House Black. I purchased the Chernonos medallion on his website.
Yeah.
I expect it to give me all kinds of arcane powers, possibly, telepathy, telekinesis, mostly moving things with my mind, killing people with my mind, making people sick with like a black. This is it right here.
Okay, well, you have like, can you read minds of anybody? Oh, there it is. Wow, for the small price of $34.99, you can join the House of Black.
$24.99. Get your eyes.
Oh wow,
checked.
it's even cheaper. Yo, would you wear that? You'll wear that to like a party?
Here, maybe.
Oh, the pause. That pause was brilliant.
Because I mean, look.
We went to some parties together. Would you have worn any of those parties we went together in the past like couple months? Would you have worn that too?
Honestly, it depends on the rest of the fit. like it depends on what I could put together to make that work. It also depends on the length of the chain. I might have to get a different chain to like shore it up a little bit. I'm not like a fucking dangly boy, but like
You're not a dangly boy?
no, there is a world in which I wear that in
Tulo's a
public.
bit of a dangly boy, right?
He's a thick boy down low.
Great callback.
So I mean I would there's like a 70% chance I'll wear that outside of a wrestling scenario.
Yeah.
You should
But,
put
like,
on
at
one
a
of these like thick ball chains like this.
That's what I'm saying.
Super new metal, you know?
Yeah.
Even tighter, like a choker, you know?
Right. I gotta start wearing rings and stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wear like big relaxed fit shirts. Become a
that for
himbo. Yeah, but no, I would wear it. I would wear it in public. It just depends on on the rest of the fit and the context. But I mean, this guy. Who do you think? Have you been following anything? I've been doing a lot of extracurricular research on Malaki and this character and where I think
I
he's
saw
going.
what he did. I saw him, missed Mr. Palooza on Rampage.
Right.
I saw him missed. And I had a lengthy discussion about him on the text chain. But no, I don't really dive deep into lore stuff like you do. That's not like how but I love that. I love when you explain it to me.
So basically, he's been posting about this like Cernunnos or Chernonus, this like pagan god called the horned god, who is a representation of pure masculinity. He is just masculinity because his counterpart is the moon, which is pure femininity.
Okay.
And they exist they're two separate things, but comprise the whole of everything, right?
Right.
So this character is frequently framed as like literally the Antichrist in like Christian text. And as far as like cohorts, like I was trying to figure out who his like partners are going to be in the House Black because I think he's bringing 2 more people.
Did he say that? Because you guys were talking about that on the text chain. Where did he say that?
Well, he posted a picture of like 3 figures in the woods, and like one of them was floating wearing horns, and then there was 2 other ones. One was kind of big, one was kind of small.
Right.
And so the first, I mean, he's obviously, I think, the one floating wearing the horns because it looks exactly like him. And then Brody King is probably the big guy. I was thinking that the little one would have been, might be even Pac, because.
Well, he just spit on him, right?
Right, and he spit that in his eye, and it like took his eye
And he had
out.
the eye patch. Do you think that was an homage to his end of WWE run?
I mean, maybe, but I think more so it's this. So he then posted a video on Instagram of him pulling tarot cards, and the first one that he pulled was the Hanged Man, which I think represents him, Aleister or Malaki,
Right?
Because he had that arcana on the back of his vest in NXT,
Right.
and then he pulled the Fool, who I think.
Fool's the first card in the deck. It's like the beginning of life.
Right. And so after he took out, or either at the same time or after he took out Pac's second eye, he pulled the Fool. But the Hanged Man represents like self-sacrifice. And so that was him. And then I think the Fool is going to be whatever relates to Pac. And then I don't know how he's going to bring Brody King in. But I mean, the point is this. We're talking like, when was the last time that like we've had this kind of like conversation about the lore of a character besides the Fiend? Nothing. Never.
Well, yeah, no, never. It's the
Right?
Fiend. No, never. Well, I've never seen you this excited about this kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Because I know that it's not for nothing. Like I know that it's not just random shit that's happening. I know that it's planned and there are beats that he's trying to hit and there is an idea that he's trying to get across. And so I'm trying to dissect it and figure it out like it's any other TV show, you know?
Okay. So I don't want to interrupt you.
Go for it.
Here's my thing. When we were on the text chain with Tulo, who, by the way, he had one ridiculous, and by the way, I think it's ridiculous, but I think it's a compliment to Tulo's supermarkness. He has such a optimism about like wrestling writing, right? You know what I mean? That like he said something. It was like, oh, I think he's doing like because he's only working with NXT champions or whatever.
Right.
He's like, you think he was booking that? I was like, bro, come on, man. You think he's like, I only want to work with NXT champions. Like, no wrestler has control over their booking like that. And that's such a, Tony would be like, I really don't have time to like manage my talent around that. Right? Or wrong.
Yeah,
but I love that Tulo thinks that, and it's very fun. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I think that I'm not sure. It's okay if having him team with Andrade for some reason and do this is it's okay if it's just bad writing. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if they didn't figure it out and they just did it. That's fine.
Yeah.
AEW can afford to do that sometimes.
Look, they have the way AEW works, part of their charm, okay? And what they get right is they don't really force anything. You know, they have the feuds that they really invest TV time in and get you really sold on the match and the feud. And then they work around it, and then they fill a lot of the rest of TV with just like awesome spot fests and matches that go for wrestlers' records, so they matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it is, in my mind, Malachi's in a place where they're like, we don't really have a set program for you yet, and they don't want to give him a half shine, which is kind of what WWE did to him, especially when you have a talent who's so big and deserves like proper moment. Like, it's just not his time right now. Right. So that's more of what I see, and I think that's okay, especially because the trust of us with the AEW product is still intact. Right. Where, you know, like, no one is feeling like they're gonna just fuck him like WWE did, right?
Right.
Like, we all at this point believe Tony Khan knows like what he has with Malachi, and when he has the moment for him, which might be as soon as after this Daniel Bryan feud is over, like, he might just missed Page after that match, you know? Right. And then you'll get a full-on Malachi program, like with proper headline attraction, you know? But instead, what they're not doing is having a bunch of meaningless titles, you know? Right. So I think Malachi's in that zone. Here's my thoughts on Malachi, my concern, okay, with him. First off, I would say this. I would rank him as the most exciting wrestler right now. I think we talk about him the most. I think that because he was also in that really sweet spot of like, he's not hit his potential like a lot of other talents have, like a Daniel Bryan or like a Hangman Page, or like, I mean, I guess Hangman Page has more to go, but he's thriving. He's at the top. He's the champion. He is one of these guys who it's like, you're actually waiting to see what he can do still.
Right.
You know, like, honestly, like we know what he can do, but we haven't seen for the amount we know what he can do compared to the lack of moments this guy has had.
Right.
I think he's probably the most that, which I don't know what you call that character. It's like, right, yet to break out, like if it was like an award show.
Yeah.
Yet to be on the side of a production truck.
Exactly.
I think that's a good barometer for wrestling,
right? Like a star hiding in plain sight or something, right?
Right. I mean, I think
my concern is that like, if this has to happen in 2022, like this has to, like, it's been like long enough waiting to like for like Aleister to come out of his shell, you know, to like be like, here's the culmination of this work. Like, we blamed Vince for holding him back, and now he's here, and it's like, it's time. And like, if I'm him, I even quit AEW if they're not going to give him the proper rub in 2022. Like, go to Impact or go somewhere where you can like execute this vision already.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously those places he won't be able to do it. You know what I mean? But like, I'm ready to see like the full thing, you know?
I mean, I agree, but only because like I want Aleister, I want Malaki Black to be as ubiquitous on AEW as The Undertaker was in WWE from like 1999 to, you know what I mean? Where it was just every goddamn SmackDown, there was a Undertaker fucking tag team match or something, you know, not obviously that corny, but like, I want him to be the main guy.
Well, here's what leads me to my next point, which is like, one thing I was thinking about with the AEW product is they have no like Kevin Owens shows. They have no like cutting edge or like whatever Jericho's was like the I forgot what Jericho's moment was called, right? Like they don't have like segments like that. Not that they do that exactly. And probably those are too corny for the product, you know?
Yeah.
But Aleister's an interesting guy where I wouldn't mind seeing I really wouldn't mind seeing something like that from him, you know, like where people like sit in a circle in the ring and listen to him or something, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I think that we could use some of the stuff he's doing on TV, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
like I don't think AEW should be afraid, because that 20-minute segment of Punk MJF was just a mic segment there, and we all talked about it, loved it.
Right. It's
okay for them they don't need to be, I don't know if they are, but they don't need to be scared of slowing the action down for a second to build, you know?
True. Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's a little bit like throw a guy in commentary, but make sure there's action happening in the ring. And they're like it reminds me of me when I used to be like, you got to entertain all the time. You got to entertain all the time. And you realize like sometimes like the silence in those moments are necessary to build tension, like to have those peaks and valleys, you know?
It's jazz, baby.
It is jazz, baby. It's a little
boom, boom, boom.
I watched Whiplash on my flight to New York again. I told you that, I think, on here.
Yeah.
That's an incredible movie. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for all those movies. Black Swan, Whiplash, they're essentially the same movie.
Yeah.
One's like the girl version and one's the guy version. Like he's a musician and then she's a ballerina, and then there's La La Land, which is the combo of those two movies.
Is that how like Fast and the Furious is just Point Break, but with cars?
Yes, exactly.
But not to be too pedantic, but like isn't in Black Swan the core issue is that like she's like being replaced by this other dancer, or she feels like this other dancer is becoming her, and then in
Whiplash, the main thing is that Paul Reiser's his father. Right. That's like that's his main struggle. He's like, it's so tough.
What are you playing the drums for?
By the way, I love Paul Reiser.
Oh yeah, remember Mad About You?
I did. Paul Reiser, I was watching the Kaminsky Method. We talked about it here. He had a scene that actually made me kind of cry, to be honest. Wow. Like he plays this ridiculous character. Mm-hmm. It's like this Chuck Lorre show. It's fine. It's okay. And he has this one scene where like they put him in this ridiculous bald cap, whatever. And he gets up. And Paul Reiser's like kind of like goofy in the show. And it's a little bit like what you would never think this part. It's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he has this one moment where he just like, turns it on and you're like, wow, you're good, bro. You're good. Well, we all know I have a sensitive spot for any of these shows that are about Hollywood and failing. So, anyway, so I mean, look, Malaki is the man. I mean, it is what it is. We got to jump to.
He muted himself again.
I muted myself for the patriarchy. Andrade and Charlotte Flair broke up apparently, but are they saying it's a work now?
I cannot believe it's not a work.
Right.
Because like I feel like if go ahead.
They're like an inspiration. I can't have that not be a thing anymore.
There's no way. There's no fucking way
that they broke up.
Yeah,
they are the it couple, right? Like
that. Yeah,
Becky and Seth are not the it couple anymore.
No, it's not. It's no way that they broke up and that we heard about it. You know what I mean? Like if they did actually break up, it would be. Why would we hear about it this soon?
Right.
It's all. She's a Flair. It's all work.
Okay. Well, because then on the other side of it, on the other side of it, I was reading this quote that, like, I guess Ric Flair talked shit about Becky. Did you see that?
Also a work.
Did you see that though?
Yes.
What did he say?
Let me look it up. I don't memorize his fucking tweets.
This shit's pretty fun though.
Yeah, I just don't memorize his tweets. Let me see.
Did we talk about, while you look that up, did we talk about Becky's Scarlet Witch gear?
No. I might was supposed to be.
You didn't notice it, the red gear?
I mean, I didn't make the connection.
I mean, here's the deal. It's obviously cosplay. I would say it's a good example of a more subtle cosplay, even though to be fair, it's not that subtle at all. It looks exactly like Scarlet Witch, but there's no logos on it. You know what I mean? Like, like Gargano used to literally wear like an Iron Man costume. I fucking hated it. I stick by it. Literally just like, like a Wolverine with the 3 slits in it. Right. You're like, how is that a character? Right. It's my nephew wears the same thing that this wrestler creating a character comes to the ring. I'll never, ever, ever think cosplay is good. That one, though, was such fire gear. She looked so fucking beautiful, and amazing coming to the ring. I just wanted to make a quote. Like, every time I see this gear, there's been a lot of posts of it. I'm like, wow, Becky looks fucking awesome. Women's division in general, by the way, in WWE. I just want to say, in WWE in general, all those women's looks are so fire right now. I mean, they are beautiful women also, so fine, take it swampy. But also, I just mean like in terms of looking like wrestlers, like when I've said so much on here, like looking like a wrestler, it's like Ziggler and the women's division. Am I wrong?
Right.
Because I think it's like we're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you on this, but like we're talking about Malaki, right? And so like Malaki, it's like when I think about the 2 kinds of wrestlers I like really basic shit,
right?
Or go for it, and like the in between is where you lose me, So like when a wrestler just like randomly has like he's like who has like gear where I'm like, what is this? It's like it's like a little like you add something where it's like a little too much. Like if you have like armbands,
right,
and then like pants that have like too much, that have nothing to do with your gimmick or anything. I'm like, Stone Cold just wore like black trunks and a vest, and then he wrestled in literally like create a player spandex black,
right?
Like The Rock had just the Brahma Bull on his butt ever. Randy Orton's one of the same trunk design, which are his tattoos, his entire career,
Right.
I don't understand why some guys don't really get that,
Yeah. Well, it's probably it's an ideology, right? It's like they probably, Randy Orton and Stone Cold probably fancy themselves as sort of like wrestlers. And so they just wear the wrestler thing,
right,
and then that's it, right? But the other guys are like, I'm a dragon demon. So
yeah, like I think it's like let there's so much like let your personality do so much of the work. But then there's guys like if you're going full warrior, like go full warrior. That's like face paint, full character, tassels, juice to the gills, as tan as possible. Sometimes your face paint also on your chest.
Right.
Like I think warrior. Warrior. What is my Mount Rushmore of wrestling? It's 100% warrior. My personal Mount Rushmore.
It's like warriors. Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold, The Rock, and then like Goldberg. Like I mean, it's like yeah.
So this is what Ric Flair said on Twitter. Yeah. I think. Oh, by the way, every first letter in every word is capitalized, like it's the name of a play. I think I'm going to have to make the trip personally to see you beat the piss out of Miss Charlotte. I don't think so, sister. The man, big time Bex, or whatever you call yourself. There's not enough choreography in the business to save you. That's not even mean.
Oh, see, this is so okay. So this is just
no, but then he said something else too. He said,
"So disappointed. I did this out of respect for you. It made you millions and made me nothing. After 40 years of being the man, the company doesn't own it. Neither do you. I will always be the man. Ask your husband." Again, though, that's
also work stuff.
That smacks like work
stuff.
Yeah,
that's work stuff. And that's the thing is like, I watched the Becky Charlotte before their Survivor Series match. I watched their what was it called? It was like not day of, but it was called something like the lead or something. No, that's Jake Tapper. No, like whatever it was called. And it was so clearly worked. And people were like, do you think these guys really hate each other? I was like, not from this. Like, I'm not a moron. Like, this is like so clearly like they're not saying anything offensive, Like they're saying like, I don't like her attitude. I'm going to smack her. It was like nothing.
No.
So anyway, Becky's comments were pretty cool. But look, if Ric Flair is upset about the man thing, like he's got every right to be upset by it, right?
No,
Like,
I mean, no, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. No. Ric
he
Flair
was the man. Like his whole thing was, I'm the man.
No, his whole thing was if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. He didn't walk around calling himself the man.
Yeah, but
there's a big difference.
That sentence
there's a big
implies
difference.
he's the man.
I don't care about implication. This is wrestling. It's all in the fucking, it's not in the subtext, baby. It's all right up front. If you're not saying I am Ric Flair, if he's not saying I am Ric the Man Flair, he can fuck himself sideways. That's not his thing.
Ric Flair has the best. He has that promo where he's dissing his opponent, who's he wrestling? Garvey or something, whatever. And he's like, "You will come here with that golden retriever you call a woman?" You're like, oh my Jesus God. Christ. First off, it's so insulting, but calling a woman a golden retriever is so interesting because it's like, I guess it's a dog, but it's like such a beautiful dog.
It's a beautiful dog. Yeah.
It's a friendly. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful dog. They're like, it always stuck with me. Like, hey, golden retriever, you call a woman? You know, like, it's something I never forget.
And that Alasa Opso, you call a woman?
Yeah. And that silverback, very rare, beautiful, like gorgeous maned, nutrient dense haired horse, stallion. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time you insult somebody, you say like an ugly thing,
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, it's a dog, but it's like a dog known to be like one of the most gorgeous. Like, I see like a golden retriever, I'm like in awe of it, Beautiful dog.
That beautiful dog that won the Westminster dog show 2 years in a row.
Here's what I'm saying. If someone came up to like my lady and was like, "Wow, you have the hair of a golden retriever," it's definitely insulting. But it's like, well, it would be a curb app. Like that would be a curb scene, right?
Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful, Larry. She's beautiful. She has the hair of a golden retriever.
And then you go back to the table. It's like, well, he loves golden retrievers. I mean, you're like, yeah, but it's a dog. Everybody loves golden retrievers. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Well, if we're on the misogyny tip, let's just follow that.
For the patriarchy.
Yeah, for the patriarchy. A moment of silence for the patriarchy. A moment of silence for war games, by the way, while we're at it.
That happened, right?
I have no idea.
Or is it tonight? It's tonight.
It's tonight.
Yeah.
I think it's Rick Steiner versus, I think it's Gargano Ciampa wrestling again. Who knows? It's going to be Iron Man versus whatever.
I like that. I like that Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Braun Breaker's clearly got a lot of potential. He's like 23. He's exactly what Vince wants NXT to be. Like
he's got the face. Guy. He's got the face reactions going.
That guy's really good.
Seems like a badass.
I was saying, do you think that Punk is setting up for a feud with Adam Cole with all this Britt Breaker stuff? Because I'm like, they're perfectly positioned for Cole to come out and just be like, I don't really like the way you talk about my girl, and people are gonna pop for that, be like, you trying to fucking bang my girl or something? Like, what's going on here? Because you see that Punk put on the Britt Baker jacket?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's wearing her like dental jacket.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's like that's a really interesting spot.
I thought that,
and he should just come out and he should go yes. He should just say yes.
He should go.
She's too good for you.
You know what I mean? Are you trying to fuck my girl?
Yes. And then Daniel Bryan comes out and says, "No, I'm gonna kick your head in."
And then
you're not trying to fuck this girl. You're trying to kick her head in.
And then fire comes. My catchphrase. And it's Kane, and it's Team Hell No versus CM Punk, and the year is 2010.
We've now, and then all the memes on the internet of people going nuts for that, and people being like, "Well, when WWE did it, you didn't like it," and you're like, "You know what? You're both annoying.
Yeah,
on both sides, you're both annoying."
I thought it would be funny if Britt Baker and Adam Cole eventually team up and they have a gimmick where like he super kicks people's teeth out and then she fixes them.
They have kind of an insurance scheme going.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate gaslight too. Like
Where he's out there,
has his girlfriend fix you up. Like, no, everything's fine.
That's fine.
It's not.
And then later, and then it threads seeds for later. Where it's like she botched my tooth.
Cole gives you a shining wizards, pins you, and he's like, "Yo, this is not personal. Like, it's like, let me point you right over to that table over there, and
Here's
you're
a
sign up
15
for an appointment."
Yeah, here's a 15% off coupon.
Yeah, for Baker MD.
Friends and family.
$200 deductible.
Yeah. She's out of network, by the way.
We got Hikaru Shida puts a pole dancing to her theme song, which
Where is it?
it's on YouTube if you would like to watch Hikaru Shida while we're there. But listen, I was saying I'm gonna see if Christina wants to come on the podcast because Christina pole dances. She's very good at it, and let's see, we can rank Hikaru Shida as a pole dancer on here from an actual.
Wait, is like her in her
perspective.
like apartment?
No, it's kind of a cool studio. Here, we Phil put the video up. Look.
Oh, I see.
She's kind of, yeah, it looks like she rented a single room studio.
I mean, it looks like she moved shit out of her. You know how I know it's not her apartment? Because she's a wrestler and it doesn't have carpeted floors. Wrestlers only live in apartments with carpeted floors.
What a hilarious observation. And the mattress, it's just a mattress right on carpet. Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there's a TV on like a stand next to the box that the TV came out of.
Yeah, wrestlers live like McConaughey in True Detective season 1. You know, like.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Carpets, half unpacked.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. So, we mainly, by the way, we talked about Dynamite a lot this week on the Dynamite episode because we're going to have to cut this episode a little short this week because not too long. Newman's got to run. I'm also here. It's my first day I get to hang out with my mom. So I might take off a little early. All right, guys? I'm here in New York. All right. I spent 10 extra days in New York to get out of Quar so I can see my family. Anyway.
Before we move on that note, I have to go.
You don't want to hear this last thing?
It would kill me to hear this last thing. What is it?
You want to hear it?
No, I don't, but what is it?
Well, now I don't want to tell you. Okay, so we watched. We had a really good time. I wanted to talk about this. I was thinking about this.
Okay.
So we watched Cody go through. I just want to say straight up, I think Cody is a babyface. I love Cody, and I will not be booing Cody with the rest of the IWC. Okay. This is a cycle of abuse that we need to cut. We need to end. Okay. Where you do something so great that people turn against you, right? We don't need to pull the Dark Knight like you either stay the hero, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain, right? We don't need this shit, right?
Right.
I'm a Cody guy. Now, that being said, Cody lit the table on fire, right? Or Brandy lit on fire. Then he did a kind of a Phoenix splash or like kind of like a dragon suplex, right? Mm-hmm. Off the top rope. He lands his whole back onto the fire. Right. Andrade lands basically in a perfect somersault position. Right. And Cody's still on fire and gets a pin on Andrade, you know? Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, we have to suspend our disbelief, I think, a little bit. The plan could not have been to put Andrade face first through a burning table. Like, that could not be it. So I think it went according to plan.
Yeah. I'll say I didn't care in the moment that it happened at all. I didn't care. I was like, that was awesome, and I thought it was really cool. We have the actual moment it happened. It was fucking awesome. But then I watched a replay, and I was like, wow, like Cody took all that impact and then pinned Andrade. Like Andrade went down with like no impact, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I guess he might have got pinned just from a broken heart, though.
That's true.
Because when I read it was a one-sided. Charlotte was
his corazon. His corazon.
Every article I read said it was not mutual.
Yo, the best part about it is all these dirt sheets that I was reading about their breakup were written by like emotionally stunted fifth graders. Like it felt like
how many breakups percentage-wise do you think are mutual? Less than 0.1%? Like, what a fucking banal statement to make. This breakup was not mutual. Of course it wasn't. Breakups are frequently not mutual. Also, it's fake. It's a work.
According to bodyslam.net, Charlotte Flair and Andrade have split up. This news comes after it was discovered that Andrade unfollowed the Queen on social Instagram.
Social Instagram.
Social
Instagram.
Social Instagram.
What is this source?
Yeah, I love these. I love these sheets because it's like the hard-hitting news guys of wrestling. It was reported that multiple sources have confirmed that Charlotte Flair and Andrade have split up. No further details about the split were provided. After speaking with multiple sources, I can confirm that the two are no longer together. Sources indicated that the breakup did not appear to be mutual and that it was Charlotte who ended the relationship. It was not given any details as to why. I was not given any. First off, now it's I.
Yeah.
It switched to. Okay.
I picture every one of these guys to just look like Vince Russo.
I was not given any details. Oh, I guess it was all in the I. Okay.
I was not given any details because I
person.
didn't actually talk to anybody.
I was not given any details as to why the relationship came to an end. Only that the two are officially done as of a couple of weeks ago. It was once rumored that Charlotte Flair and Andrade were engaged to be married. That was not confirmed by either of them. It seems that they are no longer together. So the wedding would be off if that was the case. He's speculating that the wedding's off.
Right.
He's like, well, the relationship, like it's like filler content. This is a bit of a surprising development because Flair and El Idolo, now he switched to El Idolo, were very close. Ric Flair also
How the fuck does he know how close they were?
My friend El Idolo.
Yeah.
I don't know. No knock to this guy. It's just so funny. Like, this is such a stretch the soup, like add water to the soup. Like, like this is the headline only. And like, someone's like, all right, well, you gotta
500 words.
Yeah. Give me 3 paragraphs on this breakup that you have no information about. I love
it. Was reported that sources reported that sources had said that they had broken up.
Yes. Anyway, all right, Brock Lesnar's back. See, it's too low. I keep calling it too low.
Unbelievable. Goodbye.
All right, no, it's fine. We're gonna get out of here anyway. We had a good time. Phil, did we have a good time?
We had a great time.
Can you work with the opening of this episode? Did I mess it up?
No, you got it.
Okay, good. I guess one thing I'm gonna do while I have people here is I want to look at this day one pay-per-view and see what's on it, and then we'll get out of here. Because I think it's pretty cool. Oh my god, my internet is being a pain in the butt. Well, it won't give me. I have a thing going on my computer where it's blocking websites. It says your connection's not private. So it's like, is someone hacking my computer, Phil? Hello?
You got some firewalls going on.
Okay, so here's what I was going to say. I like that they have a pay-per-view. It's on January 1st, WWE. And the match for the triple threat match is Big E versus Rollins versus KO for the title. Like, that's a fire match, Yeah,
that's like something I should care about, but still don't.
Yeah, that's that match I care a lot about. But that being said, it's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the title again.
Yeah, it's like.
That being said, I think they know they have to book something cool with that finish, and then it's Usos versus New Day. So it's just like, it's not fresh over there, and they're not really taking steps to make it more fresh. But that being said, a WWE pay-per-view on New Year's, that might be headed into Rumble season. This might be what they need to get us back.
New Year? Oh, it's on Friday, right?
They'll probably add Edge Miz to that. That'll be kind of dope. I mean, it's not a feud that I care that much about per se, but that's a match I'd watch. Yeah. Two of the ultimate opportunists, who's going to out-cheat each other,
They should give AEW like a 3-hour show on that Friday. Just go through the New Year's.
What day is it? Does it happen? Does it
happens on a Friday. Oh, wait, what are you talking? It's on a Friday. New Year's Eve. Or is it on New Year's Day?
No, it's January 1.
Oh, so it's on Saturday then.
Yeah, and then also I saw Rumble is on a Saturday also.
Yeah, they've been doing that lately. Wasn't SummerSlam on a Saturday?
Yeah, SummerSlam was a Saturday also, but I remember they're going more Saturday route, which I think is I don't know. I like it. It's also tough because I do notice that a lot of people don't change their plans for a wrestling event. They're like going to watch it later. So there is actually a beauty to Sunday, I think. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've noticed that the times that we've been Saturday pay-per-view, I've been like, it's harder for me to watch. So
yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to get out of here, go hang out with my mom. But we'll do Patreon episode this week. We'll record it after Dynamite. It might not be Dynamite. I'm gonna have to talk to the gang here. But that'll come out for Patreon. So patreon.com/comedianswrestling. Thanks for supporting the podcast, everybody. Live show probably going to be happening with Dolph. I'll have more details on that for Rumble. But so if you're thinking about going, plan on going to our show. And I'm going to post whatever I got of the match, but I got such bad coverage but I have great stills, but don't have video, but it's fine. I'm still the champion. And everybody, hey, I love you. Keep watching wrestling. Kisses. Cheers up.